need to talk about the NFL honors. That's the most valuable player, the offensive player of the year, rookie of the year, etc. I just think this system is so flawed. And that's not because my favorite player didn't win anything, okay? I think Sauce Gardner definitely deserved defensive rookie of the year. I would have loved for it to be Aiden Hutchinson, but Sauce deserved it, right? Let's talk about the honors ceremony though. So let's start with number one, the MVP. This award should not be called the MVP, the most valuable player. It should be called the most valuable passer. The NFL, when it comes to MVP, I swear they just want to write a narrative for the poster child of the league, and they're going to give it to that player every single time. There are so many more positions in the NFL than the quarterback, and this year historically almost always goes to the quarterback. I think it takes away a lot from how impactful number one, defensive players or big threat wide receivers or amazing halfbacks can be. Let's just take a look at the last 25 NFL MVPs, okay? So this year, Patrick Mahomes. Prior to that is back-to-back Aaron Rodgers. 2019, it's Lamar. I think Lamar's was completely deserved, by the way. Not taking anything away from these players. 2018, Mahomes. 2017, Brady. 2016, Matt Ryan. 2015, Cam Newton. 2014, Aaron Rodgers. 2013, Peyton Manning. And in 2012, Adrian Peterson did break that streak, okay? But that's a 13-year streak right there. Aaron Rodgers again in 2011, Brady again in 2010, Peyton Manning in 2009, Peyton Manning in 2008, 2007's Tom Brady, 2006 it was LaDainian Tomlinson. You get my point. I do not believe that each and every single one of those quarterbacks, every single year that they won it, were the most valuable player in the entire league. There should just be a QB award. There should just be a best quarterback. And that's it. And that's who you want it to be MVP. Because MVP makes Offensive Player of the Year make no sense. So Patrick Mahomes is the most valuable player in all of the league. And he's an offensive player. So how could someone else be Offensive Player of the Year? Doesn't make any sense. So Justin Jefferson gets Offensive Player of the Year. This award is basically best offensive player who's not a quarterback unless we randomly decide for it to be a quarterback. It just all doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Granted, I think Justin Jefferson deserved this award. If you were going to give an award out to someone who's not a quarterback, who had an absolutely insane season, I think it should have been Justin Jefferson. Defensive Player of the Year, I don't have a huge issue with, except for the fact that it's virtually impossible for defensive players to win NFL MVP, which I think is silly. They basically use MVP as a narrative writer, and then they use Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year to just dish out awards elsewhere. Nick Bosa deserved it, though. I'm not taking anything away from Nick Bosa's Defensive Player of the Year. I think Micah Parsons was amazing, too, but I think Nick Bosa deserved it. All right, I'm not going to lie. This is literally why I made this. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Garrett Wilson. Keep in mind, I've met Garrett Wilson before. I love this dude. I wish him the best in his career. And yes, I went to Michigan State. But how this was not Kenneth Walker is so beyond me. Let's just take it from a statistical standpoint. Take a peek at this over here. He was 11th in attempts in the league. He was 12th in the league in yards. He surpassed 1,000 yards as a rookie. He was tied for the 10th most touchdowns. He had 9 touchdowns. He averaged 4.5 per carry, which I would say is one of the weaker arguments for Kenneth Walker. I think he could average more per carry. And he did it in like 11 games. There were 5 games where his snap count was significantly limited. However, really if it wasn't going to be Kenneth Walker, I'm super happy that it was Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's awesome. I love Garrett Wilson. And I think Garrett Wilson was the next most deserving guy, but I think they goofed on this. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner. I got no problems with that. He was amazing. He was so good. Comeback Player of the Year. What? This is my final issue with the NFL honor system. What did Geno Smith come back from? He came back from sucking ass? He came back from being a bench player? This award should be called Most Improved Player. Geno Smith was the most improved player. I'm so happy for Geno. Geno was written off, like he said, and he played amazing. He took a team that was supposed to suck ass, made him awesome, and they got to rebuild with him. That's huge. But he didn't come back from anything. Comeback Player of the Year should be reserved for players who came back from something. A massive injury, for example, like Saquon Barkley or Dak Prescott. Just make 2 awards. Would it kill you to make 2 awards? Would it kill you to do Comeback Player of the Year and Most Improved Player? Because then you can give Most Improved Player to Geno and Comeback Player of the Year to Saquon Barkley. Same with MVP. Would it kill you to give the most valuable player to literally the most impactful player on their team? Coach of the Year, I think Brian Daboll deserved it. I'm really happy he got it. But this is also an interesting award. Sometimes it almost feels like Coach of the Year is just coach who outperformed expectations and not actually the best coach. But for example, Sirianni or Andy Reid, I think, are really good candidates for Coach of the Year. They were the best coaches this year. Brian Daboll just significantly outperformed expectations. So it's almost like they just name them incorrectly. Or they should just hand out more awards. That might be fun too. I don't know. Just with so many positions in football that all have different impact, I think it's kind of unfair to do things like Offensive Player of the Year and MVP. You almost could do an award for significant position groups, which I know they do. They're silly, like FedEx Ground Player of the Year awards, but those aren't significant awards. People don't pay nearly as much attention to those as these ones. I think one for running backs, one for tight ends, one for offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, corners. I guess they do it in small regards with the Pro Bowl, I guess, but that's a popularity contest too. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I got an issue with NFL honors. How would you rework it? Because I don't even have my brain wrapped around exactly what I would do. But I know that MVP being a quarterback every year does make me mad. I don't like that at all. All right, boys. Hey, I love you. Thanks for watching as always. See you guys in the next one. Peace.